Hello dear viewer, inventor of the internet, Murdoch X here, and today let's cover some games that have fallen by the wayside. We've got abandoned games, free games, shovelware games, and a Minecraft stage. First up are two game collection discs that I was looking forward to playing, one titled 15,000 Games and the other 3001 Exciting Games. I've been on the hunt for a shovelware compilation disc for a while now, but they're hard to find. These two packs seemed like they would offer something along those lines, but they don't. These are a small batch of shovelware games with a bunch of stages that the creators consider separate games because that's a shady trick to sell garbage games. Luckily I bought these used, so whoever released this trash never got any money from me. Next up we have Puzzle Pirates. I bought a physical copy of this only to find out when I got home that it's now a free game on Steam. Whoops. Released in 2003, this game has you play puzzle games as part of a ship's crew to navigate the ocean and do pirate things. Each game that's available on your ship controls how things will play out for the entirety of the vessel. For example, if you choose to play the bilging game, you'll be removing water that's leaking into the boat, which will increase its speed if you succeed or slow down if you fail. This game has changed hands a bit and the iPad version is no longer supported, but the PC version lives on. 17 years of this weird little MMO. Next up is Minecraft Harry Potter. I can see now that my game capture is broken, so I'll make this quick. A trailer for a Minecraft stage based on Harry Potter blew up on YouTube a while back, so I went to check it out. The stage in the video isn't ready yet, so I dug up their previous map and gave that one a shot. This is a map and not a mod, so the functionality is limited, but it's a sweet map. I'm curious to see how the new project looks when it's complete. Now we have one of my favorite games of all time, Salem. This is a weird little indie MMO that never quite took off. I was playing it during its beta days before it was bought out by another company, but went back to give it a shot. So here's the thing about Salem. It's amazing, but it won't seem that way when you first start. This game has two aspects that can drive a new player nuts. First, controlling your character feels jankety. This is because your walking and climbing skills are low. They can be leveled up to make navigating the world smoother, but it feels like crap when you first jump in. Next is confusion. This game uses what I'm calling balance mechanics. The items you'll find and harvest out there in the cold, dark world have purities. Through the farming system, you can tweak the purities of crops to make them better for gluttony, which is a leveling system in the game. You have 4 stats at the top of your screen, which are blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. To increase these stats, you must prepare a banquet of foods with purities that match the stats you'd like to grow, and then you pound down the food as fast as you can. At higher levels, you'll want another player to help by handing you food during this process. I don't think I'm doing a good job of explaining it, but there's a ton of depth here and loads more to talk about. But when I went back to play this, I ran into a problem. I hit a wall where I wasn't able to level up anymore. I think that they added some kind of crappy buy more jewels or wait 17 days to unlock this feature kind of thing. It's too bad. Now we need to talk about Ankh. You may disagree with me and I might get some hate over this one, so brace yourself. This is another PC game I bought from a clearance section. Ankh is a point-and-click adventure game with nice music and good visuals for its time. I am not a fan of adventure games, but this one was a nice surprise. My plan was to use a guide and appreciate the game for its story, but then this happened. And I rage quit the game. What kind of psychopath decides that swinging a cat around by its tail and throwing it is funny? I know it's a cartoon, and I know there are plenty of violent cartoons, movies, and games out there, but this is where I draw the line. When you depict a human torturing an animal for comedy, I'm out. Screw this game and screw BHV Software for making it. Next up, we have the PC game Mount and Blade. This game has a strange feel to it, and I never did figure it out. I couldn't find anything to do, so I began to start fights, but would just get mobbed by towns and fail miserably. I was angry and frustrated with it and was preparing to do a review, but then I began to research the game and I found that this game has loads of fans. It seems that I was doing something wrong, but I don't want to go back and play it again. If you're familiar with this game, please let me know what I should be doing. Now for Space Station 13. This is a strange game I've been fascinated with for a few years now. This is a little bit like Dwarf Fortress or Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead in that the graphics are weak but the gameplay is amazing. This is an online game where your job is to do your job on a space station. Maybe you're the captain trying to keep everything running by handing out orders and making decisions, or maybe you're the janitor cleaning up blood off the floor. There are loads of jobs to choose from and it's all very confusing. Also, there are traitors and everything will go wrong. There's a ton to learn before you'll feel adequate at this game, and I never did reach that point. I can say that I had a fun death when a doctor tried to transplant my head onto a robot body though. Now a brief mention for the game that's been haunting me forever, Kuon. This is currently the most valuable PlayStation 2 game in North America. I have played and beat this game and had a giant review planned, but it's difficult to talk about. The game is heavily influenced by Japanese history and folklore. I don't consider this project abandoned, but I've tried to write a script for this more times than I can count, so here's a mini review. I don't like this game, but the story is super creepy and worth playing through. There's spooky twins, people in cocoons, and bad people trying to master the dark arts by toying with death. It may be the most stressful game I've ever played, but much of that stress comes from poorly explained game mechanics. I will come back to this at some point, but it may end up being an hour-long video. Awesome! Now that these titles are out of the way, I can delete the gameplay footage and clear up some room on my hard drive. It's frustrating jumping into games with the plan of making a video for things not to work out for one reason or another, but this video salvaged some of it, I suppose. I hope. Thanks for watching, and again, if you think I should go back to any of these games, please let me know why. I can be convinced.